Have you ever felt, deep in your soul, that something is about to change? As if a big turn is right in front of you, but you can't clearly see what's coming? What if I told you that this moment has already arrived, but it demands much more from you than you might imagine? Maybe you felt like you're paralyzed, waiting for something or someone to push you into the next phase of your life, but what you don't realize is that, in this very moment, you are being called. That's right, your name is being called right now. But the question is, are you listening? What you don't understand is that the future you so desire isn't waiting for you far ahead, waiting for you to feel ready. It's here, within your reach, waiting only for you to make the choice to move forward. But this choice is not simple. It requires courage, and more importantly, it requires you to listen to what is echoing deep within your soul. Life is calling you for a new beginning, and the only thing that can stop you from answering is your own hesitation. So, I ask you, are you ready to listen and act? Have you ever found yourself wondering why things aren't flowing the way you expected? As if, despite your efforts, something invisible is holding you back from achieving what you know you deserve? Maybe you're trying to move forward, but you feel stuck, as if a great weight is holding you back, making each step feel more difficult than the last. You feel that, don't you? There is a battle happening inside you right now, a silent war between what you desire and the fears you carry. You may not see it now, but there is something greater, something you haven't yet understood, influencing your decisions and steps. Something that needs to be recognized so you can finally move forward. Sometimes, this inner struggle is stronger than we can perceive. We're caught in a cycle of doubt, insecurity, and decisions that don't seem to lead anywhere. And it's easy to get lost in this sea of confusion, questioning why the future you desire doesn't seem to come. But the truth is that this block, this feeling of not going anywhere, isn't an accident. It's not just bad luck or fate being cruel to you. There's something deeper happening. You are being called, but you haven't been listening. What you don't know is that the answer to this battle is much closer to you than you think. And it all starts with the choice to finally listen to the call. Now, imagine that, while you're caught in this whirlwind of doubt, there is a silent presence that has been with you all along. A force you can't clearly see, but that you feel in moments of clarity, in moments of silence. Maybe you felt it before, when everything seemed lost, but something inside you still told you to keep going. You've had those moments, haven't you? Those moments when, for a brief instant, you had the sense that, despite the difficulties, there was a greater force around you, waiting to guide you. This presence is not something distant, not something that only appears in moments of miracle or when you're in extreme need. It has been with you all along, working behind the scenes. It manifests as a feeling of intuition, a sudden idea that arises when you least expect it. It has been helping you, in both small and big ways, to not give up, even when everything around you seemed to fall apart. Now, what you need to understand is that this force cannot act alone. You need to recognize its existence. It will not force you to do anything, it won't pull you into action. But by recognizing it, by accepting it, you create the space for it to help you cross the barrier that prevents you from moving forward. You just need to be willing to listen. This intervention is what many people call a moment of revelation. It's when something inside you, something that was hidden, finally comes to the surface. You begin to realize that you have the power to change your reality, to change your story. It's not magic, it's not a trick. It's the simple realization that you are not alone, and that you've always had the tools to overcome any obstacle. All that's missing is your collaboration, your willingness to accept that change is within your reach. As you move forward, the sense of urgency starts to grow. Something is intensifying inside you. The pressure becomes more evident, more palpable. You feel that something is about to happen, but you still can't fully understand what it is. Imagine this as an invisible wall rising before you. You feel its presence, you feel the difficulty in crossing it, but you can't see what's blocking you. The weight of doubt starts to become unbearable. Have you ever felt this? Like there's something in your way, a barrier that seems insurmountable, but you can't identify what it is? This wall isn't an external barrier, but something much deeper. It's built by your own insecurities, by the fears you haven't faced, by the limiting beliefs you've fed for so long. Every time you try to move forward, every time you make a move toward what you want, the wall seems to grow higher, thicker. Doubts and fears begin to take over, leaving you trapped in uncertainty. But here's the truth, this wall only grows because you're afraid to face it. The fear of change, the fear of the unknown, the fear of failure. All of this has created a vicious cycle that keeps you from moving forward. Now, imagine that, as you approach this wall, there's a force beside you, silent, but firm. It won't do the work for you, but it's helping you see that, instead of running away or trying to ignore the barrier, you can learn to face it. You can break this wall. You don't need to keep pushing against it without knowing how to get through. This force that has been with you is guiding you to a new path, but it all depends on you, on your willingness to look at this wall and make the decision that, even without seeing the whole solution, you're ready to take the next step. The tension grows as you realize that something needs to be done, that the time to act can no longer be delayed. The wall won't disappear on its own. But the key to crossing it is in your hands. It's in your power, in your choice to act now, to no longer wait for the perfect moment to arrive, but to simply make the move, even if you don't have all the answers. And here, you find yourself at a crossroads. You can stay still, watching the wall, hoping that it will disappear on its own, or you can choose to take the first step. What do you choose to do now? What you decide right now, in this very moment, will define what comes next. The future you've longed for, the change you've been waiting for, it's no longer far away. It's waiting for your decision, for your action. I know it may seem scary, and you might wonder if you're ready to take this step. But the truth is, you already have everything you need inside of you. Transformation doesn't begin when you see a clear solution or when everything perfectly falls into place. It begins the moment you decide to move forward, to rise up and take a step into the unknown, not knowing exactly where it will lead you. You've already made the decision to act. You've already allowed yourself to look within and recognize that, despite the fear and insecurities, there is incredible strength inside of you. You are not alone. Even if the journey feels solitary, there is an invisible force that has always been by your side, ready to support you. But this force can only act when you choose to take the first step, when you choose to believe that, yes, you are capable of crossing that wall, of overcoming the obstacles in your way. Now, as you look at what lies ahead, understand this: the path won't be easy, but it will be rewarding. Every step, no matter how small it may seem, is a step toward transformation. Every decision you make from here on out will shape the future you desire. What you need to understand is that there's no perfection in the process, and no guarantee that everything will happen exactly as you expect. What there is, however, is a commitment to your own growth, a dedication to yourself, to believe that change is within your reach, and that it begins within you. When you look back, sometime from now, you'll realize that the moment you're living right now was decisive. That it was here, when you faced your fear, when you chose to cross that invisible wall, that everything started to change. And, when you look to the future, you'll see that, even when challenges arise, you already have the power to overcome them. Because the greatest change, the deepest transformation, is not the one that comes from outside, but the one that happens within you. So, I leave you with this final thought: the future you desire is not over there, somewhere distant, waiting for you. It's here. It's waiting for you to take the first step. What will you do now? The choice is in your hands. And, when you decide to move forward, with courage and determination, you'll discover something powerful, that, as difficult as the beginning may have been, the true strength has always been inside of you.